It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. Yeah, Oluwa lifted me higher. Oh, now they wanna eat with me. Now they wanna drink with me. Now they see me as something. But I can't forget yesterday when they saw me as nothing. No one knows tomorrow, brother. No one knows tomorrow, sister. No one knows tomorrow, mama. No one knows tomorrow, papa. Yeah. It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Wow, it is HBS show History Behind Success. Today, our guest on this program, his story will inspire you. Is a man who has put smiles in the faces of people. A man who looked at some things and said to himself, no, things are not done this way. He decided to put a new face to it. Who is this man? It's a man who likes sacrificing for his people to make sure that they are fulfilled, they are relaxed, and they are peaceful. Who is this man? Join me as I make welcome to the program, the Urukberisi Profile of the great Ugeli Kingdom, to this program. It is Olorogun Omonefe Uwanogho.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Cheers.
James. Wow, you're really looking very handsome and so sweet on this native attire. Tell me, what's the secret?
Well, first, I have to thank you for such a most generous compliment. Well, the secret is, I think it's something to do with the genes, so there's a bit of cheating there. I do work out sometimes. Well, I do work out actually. I try to stay fit. I run And I started early. I played football, a black belt in Taekwondo.
Wow.
Yes,
As in.
Indeed. So I mean, you're safe around me. 100.
Wow, that's interesting.
So, yes.
So tell us about yourself, the family you're born into, and also the schools you attended.
About myself, I'm a consultant. I'm an engineer. My degree is electrical electronics engineering, and my master's is in telecoms engineering. So I spent a lot of time somewhat in the technology space. As solutions architects, we deal with challenges, and I've been a consultant for a good part of my life. In the short of 25 years, I've been in the IT industry. That's from a career standpoint. I have 3 beautiful children, a boy, my heir, and 2 princesses. And I have a wonderful family. I'm from my dad, Mr. Michael America Uwanogho from Eku. And my mom, Felicia, she's from Ugeli, where we are right now. I have 6 other siblings, so there's 7 of us, 5 boys and 2 girls.
Okay, that's fine. How was your upbringing like?
Well, my upbringing, I think, was quite relatively privileged, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. We had, I think my dad was fortunate enough to have been perhaps one of the beneficiaries of the early independence, should I say, era of Nigeria. So he got a good job. Nigeria was really good earlier in those days. Things were not very, so you didn't have to be a millionaire or whatever. It's not like I had we were from a very rich background. It was quite a working class. They both worked, so they were not like wealthy. So you could say it was relatively humble, I guess, but because that's how it was. Everybody was okay. We didn't really look for much more than, because there was everything available for us. Some of the basics were being afforded us by the government of the time. But yes, that was my background. I went to primary school here, some of my primary school in the UK, secondary school here in Nigeria, maybe secondary school, and then most of my A-levels at university, and of course further education in the UK. So that was kind of like my background, really.
Okay. So as a youth, then, what are those things you like doing, as in to really make you become successful in the future?
As a youth?
Yes, then.
Truthfully?
Yeah.
Oof. So as a youth, I was quite out there, as in a precocious kind of one, if I might say. I was. Let's just say I did all the things. And but I was very brilliant at school. I worked hard, so it's not like I didn't like the fine things in life. I loved to go out Friday night. I was always at the right places at the right time. I had the favorite spots in Lagos. Then it was first I started with Adema Chicken Basket. We had the chicken basket I used to love. There was this Adema coffee shop in VI. Then of course Friday night there was Pacino's or Double Fun and Sunrise. I had a good time growing up, but I was always top of the class. So it's all about apportioning time to the right things, and even though I might have been involved in the youthful, exactly, I somewhat always wanted to be ahead. I never wanted to be behind, and I think that was something that had kind of kept me going till now. Yes.
All right. You have a very laudable project that you are doing right now, like in bringing smiles to your people, talking
Yes.
about the Robo Nation.
Correct, yes.
So tell us, what gave birth to such thing in your heart?
It was coming to a point of realization that for quite a good part of my life, I had not really known who I was. Identity in its entirety is quite key to navigating and, quite frankly, realizing your purpose in life. As you know, we were brought up in the colonial thinking where everything white is great, everybody has to go to London and all of that. So, of course, we followed suit, we were in London. In fact, I was Anthony for many a years. Yes, even though my original African name was Omonefe, just because, being out there in the UK, in London, I mean, you had to fit in. And then I realized after some time, and so of course some certain level of awareness and consciousness, that going back to your roots and really knowing who you are is actually the primary thing to do to be able to actually get to my state where you can actually begin to live life and understand your existence. So I focused on finding myself, finding my people. I came here in 2018 for my grandmother's funeral, connected with the people, connected with the energy, and 4 years down the line, I'm here now. So I've been involved in quite a few projects around education, health, and a few others that we're working around improving the lifestyles and socio-economic development of the urban nation as a whole. But of course, starting with my community and then spreading it out to the Ugili, and then it becomes it just kind of spreads out to the other kingdoms in the urban nation. Yes, correct.
Okay. What are those different things that you want to bring in to the education sector?
So what I find that's quite painful is that it will seem that education has been relegated to one of the lowest priorities in the state, because it just doesn't look good. I started with my community. It's just not enough funding for them. So I have been involved in alleviating some of those challenges, just supporting personally, with particularly within the Ugili areas. We do area particularly two schools, the primary and secondary school, are pretty much under my care. I'm actually a visiting chancellor. And I have a house, an inter-house sport house.
Okay.
Yes, of the Omonefe Uwanogho house.
Wow.
Indeed. And they won the first ever inter-house sports cup
Oh, yeah?
of the secondary school year. So there was that extra energy flowing with them because their patron, albeit they have not met me before,
Okay.
but they know that there was somebody backing them. So education is important, and from what I can see, there's a grade that we can actually make an impact in. Some impact with, which is the primary schools. The secondary schools, of course, need a lot of support, but the schools are not in a very good state right now. And small we try what we can do. The schools I've worked with now, we've provided water for them, we've provided books for them, and we just built a toilet for one of the schools. So you can imagine, for all these years, these children have been going to
Okay, they
school.
don't have toilet before.
They didn't have, and now they have one, and that's through my NGO and people who supported me. And we handed it over to the community just last week. So it was quite a good feel. And the videos or pictures of the event, it was very nice, and all the prayers that they gave, that they just couldn't believe it because they haven't seen me before. This is the first time they've seen me in all these years, so it was a good feeling.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. At least making the people feel happy.
Feel good. It's all
comfortable.
about the people. You start from the people, everything is fine. Make a great kingdom first, you have to make the people great.
So apart from education, which other is a project?
So health is also very important. I have like 3 focus areas. Of course, power is very important, and I'll tell you why. But let's talk about the health. So it's really power, education, health, and of course infrastructure build. Because you see, without a healthy people, you can't educate somebody who is sick. So just last week, we were involved in a health drive in the Udwere community. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's the Delta Health Contributory Scheme, and that is affordable, 7,000 naira. And we thought, okay, let's start with Udwere. I got some of my nurses in from Lagos, and they stayed over, and we got the people of Udwere. About 133 children were dewormed. We did all the blood sugar tests, the high blood pressure, malaria, parasite test, and we dispensed as needed. And of course, there were 1 or 2 people who were quite critical that needed to be taken straight to the hospital, so we had to make sure they were okay. And my nurse said, look, these 2 ladies, she doesn't understand how they are living. So if for all of this we saved a life or 2, it's worth it. However, the objective of all of that was to be able to register these people onto this contributory scheme of the state government, and then have it funded by of course the NGO. So we've been able to get good data, valuable data and statistics from the people of the health state of the people of Udwere, which I'm pleased to say that they are relatively healthy. And because that's what data collection is about. It's painful, it's not so pretty, but once you have that data, you can now begin to extract useful insights. I know that in my community there's a high birth rate, the 8, 9, 10, 5, 8, 7, just that, so there's a need immediately for some what's that thing for the control of birth control awareness. It's a lot, and they're not working, so and that's what this data and that's what this collection of information helps us to make other decisions that we might not have been looking for. So health is very key, and even based on that, we've been able to have conversations with the the individuals who are responsible for this health scheme, because we also see that there are other 1 or 2 areas that need additional that just need help. So with the people of my community, we can get them registered, and I'm sure that's because a lot of them weren't aware of this. So I know there's been quite an investment in the campaign on all of this, but it will seem on the ground they don't know this. So because if somebody knows that they have free health for 7,000, I'm sure it will be great.
Yes.
However, the state side of it, or should I say the supply side of an insurance scheme, also needs some assistance, which is you have the scheme, we register you, but are they equipped to fulfill the offerings of the insurance?
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the third one?
And the third one, of course, is rural electrification. See, without power, this place is dark. First of all, my title is Uwanogho. That means the light. So light is not just the physical light, but it's enlightenment. However, the physical light is important because there is no physical light right now. My people are in darkness, as you know. It's a bad situation.
So are you intending to get it right by bringing power to your community?
So I have been having conversations with I had to kind of be creative and innovative, and I've had conversations with the Rural Electrification Agency. They have some very, 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 great offerings right now and initiatives to kind of enable and accelerate the electrification of rural areas. I'm actually talking with the communities here and carrying out what one might call an energy audit to kind of assess what the implications might be and what's approach to take in electrifying the area. But there are some supports from them if you are able and willing to fulfill the requirements. Now, it's not just a straightforward, we'll give you money, go make it happen. It's more like, show us you are ready to do this. There's a lot of incentivization behind this, and because I believe this is something that must happen, I'm taking the necessary steps. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think it's definitely going to happen. So, leveraging that and other conversations that I'm having around, I don't know, you're in Uwanogho land. I'm sure you don't need to drive far to see that there's fire everywhere, all this flaring that they've been doing for over 60 years. Exactly. So, that needs to stop. It's actually a crime. You're killing the environment, killing my people, killing their future before you know this place is going to be a desert. So, there are initiatives around capping this stuff and turning it into gas. And they're providing power. There's so much resources here in the rural nation that it doesn't make sense that we're in darkness.
Okay. Now you said that you came in 2018 during your grandmother's burial.
Correct.
Okay. And through there, you were able to connect to your relatives and all of that.
That's right.
Now, when you started this project in the early stage, what were the challenges you had? Because getting people to convince them about what you're about to do for them is a difficult one. So tell me, how were you able to break the chain, to make them to believe?
It was less of a convincing exercise, I would say. It was very obvious that they had a need. I mean, this school, when I drove past it when we were going to bury my mother, was I didn't even know it was a school. I thought it was an abandoned place. So I don't need to convince you to help you because you need help already. So it was just a question of calling. I have a cousin here, Alex Ubuebo, he loves his people. He's like, you know what? Call the lady, the head teacher, and let's have what did they need? The first thing they needed was water. She says, well, these children, we don't have any water. They come to the school, and when they get thirsty, they go back home. Some come back, some don't. So she said, okay, perhaps it would be nice to have water for the school. So we made 3 watering taps for them to drink water. So at least they have water, which was an amazing. I think it was such a great feeling to see that people have these children in that school have water. So it wasn't a question of convincing them. It was more of the fact that they could see that there was somebody who was ready, able, and willing to listen to whatever challenges they were and wanted to at all cost make it happen for them.
Okay. Yeah. Now this is your dream, and this is your desire for your people.
That's good.
Yes. Did you have anyone trying to talk you off?
Oh yeah, everybody. And the stones. In fact, even me being here right now is like, dude, what are you doing there, man? I'm not joking. It's like, but I'm very clear on my purpose. I know why I'm here. I know why I breathe, and I know there's a job to be done here. The Yoruba term for it is Iro. What's that word that I came to do? Iromoru. What does it do? Hero what? I came to do what? You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Say it. Hero Mireru. I came here to work. I came here to work. You know what I mean? And there's a lot to do here. So I'm making you laugh at me. Okay, sorry. So that's what I came here to do. I came here to work for my people. Yes, and there's no doubt in my mind one here. So everybody has said, oh, quite frankly, it doesn't make sense. But for change and transformation, there must be sacrifices. Everybody have to make a sacrifice. And I'm here for my people. I'm here to enlighten them. I'm here to give in some of all this, not some, quite all of this that I've been granted for free. And I don't need to charge them because, like I said, it was afforded me. And if I can make things quick for them based on just my exposure, my experience, and just what I've been involved with in the past, then why not? It's not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now you are from Eku.
My father is my paternal. Yes,
you are
paternal from Eku.
Yes.
Yes.
Eku.
Ethiopia is this.
Yes, and you're starting this laudable project in Ugeli, your mom's place.
Yes.
So why didn't you start first from your father's side before moving here?
It was just a question of, like I said, I came here and I have cousins here. I mentioned my cousin Alex. It's not that I don't have cousins on my father's side, but it just seemed like he was ready to go. He was ready to move. He was like, I'm ready to move with anybody. Like I said, if you tell me there's need in nowhere, I'll roll with you. Anywhere there's a need, I'll roll with you. I tell people, I am not constrained to just. No. I'm Pan-Africanist. Okay. This problem is an African problem. But I realized I have to start from where I come from, my roots. I needed to discover my roots. I needed to first of all find my identity. Now I know who I am. I am complete. I am aligned. Things kind of happen kind of like naturally and seamlessly because I'm so clear on who I am. For a while, when we're in London, one day you go do Imbo, you go do this, you go do Nigeria, sometimes you go home carry church. You don't even know where you are. You're just here, there, all over the place. So once you know, bam, where you come from, it becomes easy. And that's what happened to me. So with the Ugeli thing, is just because I think what really made it even extra was the fact that I had this connection, and then we moved on.
All right.
Yes.
After this break, we'll continue.
Okay.
In case you're just joining us, it is HBS show History Behind Success. And my guest on today's episode is Olorogun Omonefe Uwanogho, the Urukbesi Rufie of the Great Ugeli Kingdom. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Don't forget to call us on 081 321 66983.
HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
You're welcome back. You're still on the program HBS show, History Behind Success. Before that break, my guest was talking about the Laudable project that he brought to his community. And he is the Uruberi Sirovi of the great Ugele Kingdom. So tell me, why this great focus on the Urobos?
Well, firstly, because I am a Robo, and secondly, I have been able to see that there is a need for my people to kind of align to actually succeed. There's as I've noticed and observed, a certain level of disunity. And that's actually causing the additional challenges that they are facing. What I've done with I was contacted by the President General of the UDU, Ugele Descendants Union, and they needed there was a need for a website. Coincidentally, I'd been collecting information about my people, and it's like, wow, this is a perfect opportunity to bring this together. The Yoruba nation is rich in culture, rich in history, rich in heritage, rich in resources, rich in educated men, rich in so many things that make the characteristics of empires. However, we have been fragmented in such a way that there's just, and then it's just really what I call 5 naira argument kind of situation. and some of these are irrelevant because inapplicable at this stage. So I've built a platform for the Ugele Kingdom, and I'm working closely with Daddy Mila Olorogun, who is the Olorogun of the Ugele Kingdom of Traditional Chiefs, who has written his own book about the Ugele Kingdom. I also have extensive material from other people who have written information or written about the Yoruba nation and as a whole, and all of this is going to be on the platform. The platform is built for the people. It's a social platform, but it's going to have everything about the Yoruba Kingdom. I'm working also closely with the palace, and they will be providing also historical information about the Ugele Kingdom, and there's going to be a page for each kingdom so that we can become a nation. So first, why is for the nation, the Yoruba nation, is because I am a Robo, and secondly is that for us to actually make it, for us to survive, we have to be one.
Yes.
And it's not just the Yoruba nation. There's no Ishekiri without Yoruba. There's no Ijo without Yoruba. There's no, what's the third one? Isoko, we're all one. So, because it's a common problem, if I'm able to architect and actually make it work and fix a problem for Robo, it's just a lift and shift. This problem is the same. I am, like I said, I'm Pan-Africanist, so I do not and will not ever think of building a solution this small, because this is the problem. So the defragmentation is critical. Let's clean all the lines and let us know that we're all one, because we are truly just one. And so that's the Yoruba nation must be great, but I actually have to start from somewhere, and that's why I'm starting from the Ugele Kingdom, because as you can see, it's just my soul that is connected to these people. I'm not from here. I don't live here, but I'm just. I want to make it happen.
Passion.
It is the passion. I want to make it happen.
Okay.
So let me start from somewhere.
Okay, you said you have some persons that you're working with. They are giving you informations and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, the information they give you, And when you are on brand, when you marry them together, are they the same thing?
No. It wasn't too much, but the coming here and actually meeting people. Of course, I try to have what we call a risk map, which kind of what are all the challenges that I might face, and I always had the actual person, the people themselves, as my biggest concern. But when I came here, finally, I actually didn't know it was this bad. But we're not worried about challenges and problems. That's why we're here. It's just that it was slightly underestimated because what I just didn't know that. I just realized I just had to reset and keep my focus on the outcome and have a different kind of approach to it, and I'm going to need more time. I thought it was going to be quick in and out, but the challenge, it's not just the challenge. It's not that I wasn't aware of the challenges. It's slightly, yes, exactly. So I'm going to have to stay a little longer just so that I can understand it a bit better, because if I'm able to get to grips with the challenge, like know exactly where it pinches, then it enables me to solutionalize, build a solution, kind of have all my options on how I can address their challenges for the outcome we want, which is good education, fantastic healthcare, yes, definitely power, and then that thing now kicks off. It becomes a domino effect. Things just start to happen, and life is good. Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Do you have partners that will support
Partners?
you?
Yes. This is not a one-man band, and quite frankly, and I know I might have used the word "I" quite a bit. Sorry, please. I take it all back. First of all, I partner with the Almighty God. Okay. I rely on Him immensely. I'm in no way religious in any way, shape, or form, but I believe that the Almighty and the forces are working with me. I also have some good people who just perhaps I have helped in the past and don't understand why I did it, and they join me and they just like, oh, whatever you need, I will help you, because they just know that it's a good force, it's a good energy, it's good vibes, it's good things. I also have those people, and they're quite a lot. Just randomly help them. There's like, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, I will do whatever you want. So I also have that. But from a corporate, or should I say, if that's what you're mentioning, like I do have also technology partners that are involved in that will play a role in realizing some of this economic, or should I say, infrastructure projects that I have in mind. Yes, I do.
All right. So, what are your plans for the youth?
Well, I have quite a very strong passion for the youth, because I feel I naturally connect with them. I don't judge, because, like I may have mentioned earlier on, I was what you term like bado. Exactly. So if I just like, if not we say God, So I kind of not only empathize with them, I have a lot of compassion for them, and I've also been, should I say, I have been granted the benefit on how to engage with them and communicate with them, and come down to their level, so that they can be able to assimilate and consume, in a manner that they can actually move with what I'm saying. So the current state of the youth right now is not so great, and it's just purely because they don't have enough mentors. There are not enough people who, I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but from what I see, there's not enough guys who are willing to give them time. Okay. These guys need some time. Somebody gave me time. I had mentors. If these guys didn't give me time, I would not be here. Some people told me, oh, don't go there because but the water did there, or like, there's a hole there. So I do that now with any youth that bumps into me. If you so happen to catch me for a moment and you want to give your ear to me, I'll give you my time, because I know it's important for you. So the youth do not have enough mentoring. So I'm here now. I'm talking to a number of vocational skill centers here in the Ugele Kingdom, and we're trying to somewhat organize one or two sessions within the Dure community where we can have we call it a conversation with the youth. Hey, what's up? don't just what's up kind of situation.
So that I can listen to you.
I can listen to them first of all.
Okay.
If you notice, I can talk, but it's more about where are they, because they create that air where they can be free to express themselves, and that kind of creates a way to start making the change, or where I can start to put in some of my guidelines or my advice for them. The youth are the future, whether we like it or not.
Okay, what exactly are your plans for them?
I have something called the E-Cubed strategy, 3 E's, which is educate, enlighten, and empower. And underneath these 3 pillars, I said educate doesn't have to be just the formal education. It could be just a way. Some of them are not even educated to just maybe rise. We're heading towards a digital era, so it's about I being, I know where we're going, being able to tell them, look, hey, you need to be digitally enabled, because everything is going to be digital in a flash. You don't want to be walking around with robots and you can't send an email. So, because that's where we're headed. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the enlightenment, where, as you know, even in the Uwanogho kingdom, we have like the most educated men in the world. In fact, there are a lot of educated people, but we're still hungry, we're still poor, we're still ready to kill ourselves for like some change. Enlightenment needs to be part of that education. This is where things like the exposure that people like us have had, and other people. I'm not the only one who wants to help our people. Okay. So that's the enlightenment. And then there's the empowerment, where we are able to get them to where they can start to fish instead of us giving them fish. So we call it a train to employ, or partner to employ, where we are talking to organizations that actually have roles and that are available for this particular skill sets, to kind of empower them, so these people can start to help themselves and their communities.
Okay.
So that's the foundation of the youth, should I say, plans that we have.
Okay.
So,
all right. You talked about having a mentor, that some persons mentor you. Can you just tell us briefly about your mentors?
So I worked for a consultancy firm, Deloitte. I worked in Deloitte. It was a little. It was like a university in your career world. So you're dealing with partners who you have to kind of deliver for, but they were able to somehow guide you at the same time while you were delivering, and it's not just in Deloitte. I've had 1 or 2 other just random adults who just took a liking to me and will see me in situations and said, oh, do you know about this? Literally, have you heard about this? Have you tried? They just saw they saw my personality, and they just felt like they could do this, or they could tell me this and guide me with that. So mentoring is very important, and I don't really joke around with it. And perhaps it's something I should actually look into and make it more of a community thing, because I think there'll be other people who can give just maybe an hour or 2 of their time to a youth or 2, and that can make a significant change. Because you see, right now, you can't have a bad society without a bad home. the home itself is not in a great state. That is why this is what we're seeing right now.
That's correct.
Correct, yes. So, and this is where these children who are now at this stage where they do not have the confidence or they don't have that comfort of conversing with their parents, now need us as mentors who they can rely on to kind of guide them. It's not that the parents are not there for, it's just that it's just what it is right now. It is what it is. So if I am so happen to be around a bunch of teenagers, perhaps over a few drinks, even better over a few drinks. You know, it can flow. So, oh my God. Thank you.
All right. Just before we go, Nigeria today, we have a whole lot of youth who are unemployed,
Yes.
and some of them that have skills, no finance to like set up something. So some of them, because of the frustration they are facing, they are like, let me just do this to make things work by going through the back door. So what's your advice to our youth?
Going through the back door will keep you in the back door. It's never the way. It might be short term, but it's never going to get you to where you need to get. It's not sustainable. I will never advise that. Yes, it doesn't look so great. Yes, it looks bleak for them. Look at the governments that they have, man. It's bad. It's quite a dire situation for them. There's nothing to enable them, and it's easy to just, these people are not ready to read, they're not ready to help themselves, but there's no infrastructure for them to even feel incentivized to do more. Even those who are graduates, doctors, PhD, no job, no nothing. So I also believe in one thing: where there's a will, there's a way, and hope never fails. And the only reason why I'm here right now, irrespective of my career and is because I work hard. I still work hard. So it doesn't matter how long the night might be, it's always going to be sunshine at the end. So if you believe in yourself, you know yourself, and you think that you can make good of yourself, then it will happen. Back door, it's a definite no-no.
It's a no.
It's a definite no-no. And it's now our duty. It's now people like us to work additionally and extra harder, because the situation is so much worse than it should be. So we can talk, we can say, look, come, we're here, we're available. It only takes one. It's quite infectious. If you help one, that one can transmit it to his friend, But we're actually in a bad state. So it means that there's going to be need for extra work, additional efforts, mentoring of these guys, patience with them, and not judge them, because you didn't give them anything. So we now have to work extra for them, and it's going to happen.
Thank you so much for your time on this program. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me on. I think it's been an amazing time, and it's like great insight shared. Thank you.
All right, we've come to the end of the program HBS show. No doubt you had a wonderful time listening to our guest, Olorogun Omonefe Uwanogho, the Urukbe Isiru view of the great Ubeli Kingdom. You had it all about yourself, about the great thing he's doing in the Robo Kingdom. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing. I am Blessing of Familia. We'll do it again next week. Don't forget to call us on 081-321-66983.
It's the HBS show with Blessing, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.